I used to think that success came from being noticed. Like if I posted enough, commented, got enough likes, and looked established, everything would fall into place. And the older I get, the more I realize something that nobody really talks about. Creators don't fail because they're not talented, they just fail because they're alone. And everything that came good in my life, whether I'm talking about my media business, my events company, Apeiron, it didn't come from clout, it came from people and community. So in this video, I want to talk about why having a community is so much more important than having clout, and why having the right group of people around you will change your entire career. And I really don't think creators hear this enough. You could be talented, you could grind your heart out, but none of it really matters if you're just doing it alone. And it's so much easier if you have a group or collective that can work with you. When I first started getting into this, I'm talking my content creation, the media business I have, the events that I run, it was all just me by myself. I didn't really have a team or anybody that I could kind of lay back on and rely on, and nobody really understood what I was trying to do. I had a whole bunch of ideas, but not really anybody to share them with. And when I first got to Rutgers, I used to film these sororities, these fraternities, and I got actually a lot of clout from it. And I got recognized on the street. Whenever I would go out, people would realize, but none of it really mattered because I was just the camera guy. So if I was to fast forward now to when I had the events business, I was literally trying to plan everything by myself. And I quickly realized that this wasn't the way that I should be doing these things. It finally clicked in my head that I need someone to help me and that I need a like-minded group of people to really push me to the next level. And because of that realization, I started going to more and more events where I wasn't filming. And at those events, I would ironically end up teaming up with the people that I was filming for already. And I ended up taking them with me and joining my team to host our first events together. And it kind of became a full circle moment because I was already filming for these guys and I needed a team. And those guys at the fraternity ended up being the team that I had. So it was kind of great because I had their motion in terms of all the people that they knew, the network that they had, and then my marketing ability in terms of media, content, and just promoting events in general. And it was like a wombo combo of both things where one was mutually benefiting the other. So with that team, I ended up hosting my first event and 650 people showed out in Philly. It was nuts. And it was crazy because before I was trying to do everything on my own. And I have a specific story that I can remember off the top of my head where I was literally sitting alone in my college apartment. And I just remembered like, yo, if I post more, if I keep going at this, I'm going to make something happen, which is true, which can happen, but I needed a method to the madness. And the method that was missing was the community behind it. And because of this event, I realized, all right, cool. So I can't do this on my own. All this attention on me is getting to a point where it's like, all right, it's getting hard, right? Like I'm just doing a lot of things on my ones, but having them behind me also helped a lot. And here's the thing with like creators in general, whether it's events, media, blah, 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 we tend to put ourselves in isolation. In reality, we crave being with a team and we crave being with other people who are like-minded, but we always end up freaking circulating back to the one thing of just putting ourselves in a deep, dark hole. And I quickly realized like I need to get out of that. And usually when you end up in those by yourself isolated situations, you end up getting behind, you end up feeling behind because you see some guy post about some shoot that he did with an artist, or you see some guy who hosts an event with this amount of people. It just becomes really, really overwhelming, and you tend to put yourself down a lot more than if you were with the team. And in general, it kind of just makes the whole journey heavier than it actually needs to be. And that's the real problem, right? It's not your talent, it's not your grind time and blah, 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 and it's not the amount you're posting. It's genuinely just isolation. So building on that, the next thing I really want to talk about is when and how things really started shifting for me. It's funny because I didn't get better at my talent, which I'm sure I did, but not significantly better to the point where it's like, whoa, like you got to notice this guy. Or it wasn't because a video went viral. Like I've posted so many freaking videos, 460 something to be exact, and none of them got viral. Even with all those things, right? Not going viral and posting blah, 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 all those things, right? I still get bookings every single week, without a doubt. I have not done outreach in years. And it's mainly because I have a network now, a community that I can fall back on. And that is because community is so much more important than having clout on social media. So I really started posting more and doing more things related to the community side of things rather than posting for the sake of going viral. I really break it down into two things. I have my events company, Apeiron, where I host events, club events, coffee shop raves, networking events, and stuff in between. And then I have my media business where I record and film and do social media for wedding DJ companies, restaurants, and a whole bunch of retainers, corporate clients, stuff like that. So let me start off with the latter, which is my media business. I got clients and opportunities because I didn't have a whole bunch of clout, but I rather was trusted by people in my own circle. So the best example I have of this is my first ever concert photography gig that I ever did, and it was for a rapper, P&B Rock. And I got that gig because of a friend named Josh Graz. Now here's the thing about Josh. He knew who I was because of all the stuff that I was doing, from the fraternity work to the client work at Rutgers at my university. And he realized, like, all right, this guy knows what he's doing and he has a little bit of motion, and I've just heard from the grapevine that he's a good guy. Long story short, he had enough trust in me to tell me the person to hit up, and that person ended up being the social media manager of a production company that did the show. Long story short, I ended up doing the gig, and he had enough faith in me where he can reliably tell me, look, like, you do good work and you're a good person. He had enough trust in me to give me the contact, when in reality, he didn't have to. If I was to generalize it, I didn't get my first big gigs because I had motion on social media, but instead it was kind of like a community effort where, you know, this guy knew me from another person knowing me, and it was not just raw talent, but in the fact that I could be trusted with my skills and abilities. One conversation did way more than just posting 40 different times. Now, if you look on the other half of things, my events company Apeiron, that taught me way more about the importance of community than anything ever has. People weren't just showing up to a random party, because there are so many of those, especially in Philadelphia where we're based, but they showed up because of the community and the people that we've built around us. One of the prime examples of this concept is our networking event that we did in New York City. We gave away free Metro Boomin and Future tickets because they were on tour at the time. So basically it was fully all a gain for whoever attended this event, no loss. It was just a straight up opportunity for people to meet other people and just gain insights. It was more of a situation where people felt welcomed. It wasn't like an exclusive invite only event where, you know, you had to know somebody to know somebody. It was all open for everybody. As a company, we focus super well on one thing, and that is community is so much more important than just hosting a random party. And the concept of having people that want to come to your events and show up and take part and support is so much more valuable than hosting an event with a crazy artist and making short-term profits on it. And even with all that glory and all that cool looking stuff, there were so many moments where I really needed to rely on who was with me. There were so many times where planning felt impossible. I'm talking the budgets were high, there was not enough time for promo, things were going wrong, artists were bailing out on us. It was absolutely insane. But every single time the events ended up working out because of the people behind it. I'm talking friends of friends of friends who are supporting the events, the team and the community that we have behind us, all my partners, all the employees that work for me. Another mini example of how we really try to push our community and involve our community as much as we can is where we do this thing called Platinum Club tickets. We have an Instagram channel with around 350, I believe, active users. And the first thing we do whenever we create an event is create a couple $5 tickets to any event we have, whether it's a small event or a crazy big event like Halloween where we're selling tickets for $80, $90. But regardless, we make those $5 tickets for the real core fan base, and we throw it in our chat and be like, hey, look, guys, this is what we're doing. Another prime example of the community is what we do with our podcast, the Guestless Podcast. We invite members of the community. I'm talking the DJs, the vendors, the ticketing platforms, everybody who's really involved behind the scenes to kind of just show up and showcase what they do for their part of the whole events and nightlife space. Basically a way where we could kind of showcase everybody who's working behind the scenes on this kind of stuff. And it ends up being mutually beneficial because if they grow, we also grow with them. But again, in general, we make our attendee or someone who's involved with us welcomed. We make them feel so welcome to the point where going to a competitor event and going to another event doesn't even compare. Again, don't go for the viral event or the viral video, but truly value the people that you have around you, because those are the people that are really going to show up and help. All right, cool. So I've yapped enough about myself. I've done a lot of talking, but what can you do to implement that same community? The first thing that I would recommend is really put yourself out there. I'm talking to attend networking events, post online on social media, join groups, clubs, join group chats where everybody is a like-minded individual. They want to make money. They want to have a great business, successful business. They want to be consistent with their work. They want to go into opportunities bigger than what they have right now. And because of these events, I ended up meeting my current team. I'm talking my business partners. And that was because of other events that I attended. And now those same people help in my daily routine. So the second thing I would say is build relationships over just transactions. So what exactly does that mean? I'll give you a live example. I'm currently working with Summer Rae on her canned Dirty Shirley company called Tempted. Long story short, I'm not getting paid for any of the stuff that I'm doing with them. Rather, I'm working with Summer's business partner to develop a whole social media rollout slash YouTube rollout for all the real life stuff the product is going to be involved in. So you might ask yourself, like, Harshil, like, why are you doing this stuff for free and not getting paid? And my simple answer is I have genuine faith in the company. They're good people behind the product. It's a good product. And in general, like, I just have faith and I want to be involved. And this opportunity came from me strictly just being in a group chat full of like-minded people, and the co-founder threw a message in the group chat and was like, hey, look, we're doing this. Can anybody help out with marketing, social media, YouTube, real life stuff, all that kind of stuff? And now you may be like, all right, so what am I gaining out of this? First of all, I'm getting access to his network of people, which is the biggest thing. Next thing is that I'm getting access to Summer Rae for my Apeiron events. And then the third thing is, if things do work out, I'm going to get some back end cut of it. So basically just don't DM asking for something first, right? Basically do a favor to help out. Don't expect anything in return either, but you know, fingers crossed, by the grace of God, everything will work out and you get your piece of the pie. At the end of the day, mutually beneficial things is what's going to end up moving you forward. So again, just to close off, relationships over transactions, super important. And the third thing that I want to really emphasize on how to develop this community is create with other people. Work on projects together, brainstorm together, make videos together. It just makes everything around you so much easier. One of the prime examples that I have is Apeiron, where everybody involved with the team is kind of like a snowball effect. One person will give out an idea, the other person will build on the idea, the third person will say, yo, I'm not really a fan, right? So we start debating on this and this on different topics. So it becomes really helpful when you're trying to make something happen and everybody has a pros and cons list, and we kind of scrap it or we go through with it depending on what everybody thinks. So just to give you guys a little context of what the team does on event day, pre-event day, and post-event day, just so you know what real true community is like at the company. So pre-event, my partners kind of handle all the graphics, the sponsors, the outreach, and kind of all those things in between, while I handle the VIP clientele and dealing with the venue. Also all the social media content, promo content that gets posted up on the accounts. During the event, I'm behind the scenes talking to the managers about what our bar numbers are at, dealing with the VIP clientele and making sure they're all taken care of, while my partners deal with everything in front. So I'm talking about tickets, making sure people are inside, having fun, enjoying themselves. If there's any issues with checking in VIP, they usually help out as well. But the overall goal is to have a good customer experience. And then post-event, I handle everything that comes with content. So I'm talking recap video, clips from the event that are going to go viral. My partners handle all the financials, getting promoters paid out, making sure the venue's paid out, doing the P&L and everything kind of in between in that area. I'm saying all this because it's not about what exactly and specifically we do, but it's more about, look, if I didn't have a team behind me, I would have to do all those things on my ones, and that just becomes extremely difficult and nothing ever gets done in time. The last thing I would say is build something that people actually want to be a part of. So for my media business, people see like, look, Harshil has a media business that he runs. He doesn't have a corporate job. He's doing it on his own and making money without having that traditional 9-to-5. For Apeiron, it's hosting events that people want to come back to, hosting events that are memorable for people and not just something to make easy and quick money out of. So whether it was Apeiron or whether it was the media company, it was never meant to be cool. Like, it just ended up being cool because of the community behind it. People don't hire me because I have crazy skill with the camera, which I'd like to say that I'm pretty good, but they hire me because I have a network, I have a community, and I have a whole bunch of people behind me that I know can get the job done, as well as the talent myself. And people don't come to Apeiron events because they're just fun parties that they can get drunk at. They come because it's a cultural event and they want to be a part of it. And the next thing I want to say, I guess we could call it 4A, is think long term. Don't think on short-term goals. Don't think on the viral video, but think on the long-term plan. Don't think on the event that's going to make the most money in the short period of time, but think on the long-term goal. What are you trying to accomplish, and what feeling are you trying to evoke in someone when they come to your event, when they hire you, when they do stuff with you outside of work? I guess the best question to really ask yourself, to summarizing everything, is this going to build my brand for the long term? Every meaningful opportunity came from a person, not just a post, and I need you to remember that. That's super important. But that being said, imagine if you combined the posting and the person and combined them together into one big shebang bang. That's the real killer. So my best advice, create that community, post consistently. Together you will make an undeniable combo that will get you booked every weekend, that will have people coming to your events, that will just make you the all-around winner. So if I was to summarize this video in a couple words, it would be to not chase clout, to not chase followers and likes, but to chase an actual community and being connected. That's super important, because when you have the right people around you, your ideas get bigger, they happen faster, and you also just feel a lot less overwhelmed. So remember, community over clout every single day. Take care. Peace. Goodbye.